How do you get perfect waves in your hair? If you are asking yourself this question, this video is perfect for you. I want you to watch it all the way to the end, and I'm gonna give you guys the answer. Let's get it.
I've been going crazy. Plug in, can't play me. Jesus done save me. Can't switch, won't sway me.
What's good, YouTube? It's your man, the Ninja Waver here, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get perfect waves in your hair for the 360 wave hairstyle. So you've done it. You have waves, you have depth, you have connections, but you just have a couple of forks here and there that is just ruining the entire flow. And this is what's stopping you from going to the perfection level and being up there with the greatest wavers of all time. Well, have no fear. I'm here to give you the secret tips that's going to be sure to take your waves to the next level if you consistently apply these into your everyday regimen. And be sure to stick around for tips number 4 and 5, because those are tips that most wavers don't even know about. Let's get right into it. All right, so the first tip that most wavers don't realize when they're trying to get perfect waves is to actually cut your hair lower. All right, you actually want to cut it down to a 1.5, no higher than a 2. All right, so this is almost as if you were starting to get waves from scratch. Only difference is you have a set pattern. Your pattern is set. It's not flawless, but it's set. You can clearly see your connections and the depth. All right, now the reason why you want to cut your waves down to a 1.5 is to get rid of stubborn forks. Most wavers will tell you to wolf for 4 months, 6 months, even 8 months, indefinitely, over and over and over again. Now, don't get me wrong, wolfing is important. It does train your hair to grow and lay down at greater lengths, and it does help build your connections initially and develop depth. However, once you are set in your pattern and you're trying to go to the next level and you are at a stage where you have stubborn forks, you want to cut your hair down lower to a 1.5, because this is going to help you move forks easier. For those of you who might have forgotten, when you were first getting waves, we told you to cut your hair down to a 1.5. This was because it was a lot easier for your hair to move and to be trained at lower levels than when you're first wolfing. All right, now that you got your waves set, they're in there. Now we got to get rid of those stubborn forks. Let's say you have a stubborn fork and you're wolfing. You've been vertical brushing, you've been hitting the same angles repeatedly, and it's been months, and that fork just will not move. It probably won't move because you keep wolfing and overgrowing it, and now it's locking that fork into place. So the trick is to keep your hair cut lower so you can shift and move the fork a lot easier. So just to make sure we're not confused, all right, when you're first getting waves, you want to cut your hair down to a 1.5 because your hair is not trained yet. You want to train it at the root. You wolf to teach your hair to lay down and train at different lengths, and to help develop your crown and the rest of your pattern. This also helps you build a lot of connections. Not every connection, but a lot of connections, most of your connections. Once you're down to a few stubborn forks that will not move, no matter how many times you consistently brush at the same angle, that's when you want to go back to cutting down to a 1.5, so that way you can help move the fork at an easier pace. This is a game changer. All right, so that's step 1. Keep your hair cut lower, all right, when you're trying to get rid of the last few forks. Now, step number 2 is, of course, you want to keep vertical brushing. All right, and what I mean by that is, instead of holding your brush horizontally like this, you will hold it vertically like this. This ensures that each row is uninterrupted instead of being overlapped by different angles. The overlapping is what creates forks. We're trying to get rid of them. So now that your hair is cut low, you want to make sure that you're vertical brushing. All right, this is what's going to really help get rid of those stubborn
The
forks.
third tip that's gonna help you guys get perfect waves in your hair is by getting the Elite Wave Cheat Guide linked in the description below. It's gonna give you all the insider tips and secrets to help you skip levels of the wave journey. All right, so be sure to check that out. It's gonna save you years of wasted progress. Now on to the fourth tip. That is the game changer to getting flawless connections. And this tip is what I use to get rid of a lot of my stubborn forks, is you want to comb along your wave pattern. And here's what I mean. All right, so we all know that this is combing with the grain, right? And combing backwards would be against the grain. But when I say comb along your pattern, I mean tracing your waves like this. It's kind of like combing it sideways, but I'm combing it in the direction of the flow of my pattern. The reason why this is important is because, as you guys can see, it kind of shows you a template of what your hair looks like when everything is lined up in a row. All right, so this is really helpful because it actually shows you how your hair wants to line up. This is a hidden gem. This is what I use to get rid of the forks in my back waves, or at least most of them, as well as what I use to better my strong side. All right, so you want to comb along the pattern just like this. Now, some people like to comb it back after doing that. What I did to fix a lot of my forks was comb along the pattern just like that. And then I grabbed my brush and brushed it vertically. That way I'm slowly shifting my waves. I'm slowly shifting them. And the final tip that's gonna help you guys get perfect waves in your hair is by shifting your waves. And the cool part about this tip is you can actually combine it with tip number 4. Let me explain. So when I say shifting, what I mean is brushing in a completely opposite direction than you normally brush. The purpose of this is to confuse your hair so that way it breaks the fork as time goes by. So if I normally vertical brush like this, shifting my waves would mean me either shifting it to the right or shifting it to the left. The direction that you choose to shift your waves is really going to be based off of whatever works for your hair. Some people's hair patterns, their waves connect when they shift it to the right, and some people's pattern connect better when they shift it to the left. You really have to play along with your hair and see which way works best for you. For me, it tends to work when I shift it to the right, but for 360 Jeezy, in some of his videos, he's had to shift it to the left. All right, it really just depends. In the long term, it might not even matter, but you just want to play with your hair a little bit and see which way works better when you shift it. Now, a lot of people ask, how long do you shift your waves? You only shift it long enough until the fork breaks. Once you see that the fork is starting to break, this can take days or it can even take a week or 2. Then you go back to brushing the same angle, all right, before you start to shift. Now, that makes you uncomfortable. If you're scared that you're gonna ruin your whole pattern, that was me when I first started this. You can try alternating. So for 1 week, you shift in the opposite direction. The next week, you go back to brushing normal. And you do that on and off. That way you're not fully committing to shifting your waves in an entirely different direction. Now, for those of you who want more secret tips on how to better your 360 waves, you want to be sure to check out this video that YouTube thinks you should watch next. Be safe and salute to my wave troops. I'm out.